Good morning, YouTube. I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. Welcome to this lovely, brisk morning. It's supposed to get warmer a little bit later. So today I want to talk to you guys about a question that I get a lot, and it's kind of hard for me to answer. And the reason it's hard for me to answer is because I don't do it like anyone says you should do it, and that is budgeting. So at the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what my bills are. So I'm going to tell you how I have, first of all, I don't need a pen and paper because it's seriously all in my head. I have it all memorized, and I have for years. It changes on occasion and I have to make adjustments, but for the most part, I've got it in my head. So you guys see how I make these videos about living below the poverty line, and I do, but I don't have any bills like other people. I think that debt is really what keeps you from being able to live on a low income happily and comfortably. You know, I have no mortgage, student loans, car loans, credit card debt, medical debt, personal loans. I don't have any debt whatsoever. I have a paid off house, and it came with solar, so I don't have an electric or gas bill because I produce so much more that it turns over into the next year, and even the service charge is covered by the excess electricity that I produce. I like to eat simply. I don't really eat prepackaged food. Prepackaged food makes up maybe 2% of my diet, maybe even 1%. I don't buy sodas. I don't drink alcohol, smoke, or do drugs. I'm on no prescriptions. So you can imagine how low my bills pretty much are. Now, living below the poverty line, I believe in 2025, don't quote me on this, but it's around $1,400. And my bills each month, so my bills come out to about $1,100 or to $1,200, I'll round up, $1,200 a month. And my discretionary spending, the things that I like to do, don't cost any money. So if I had like a month where I just went all out, like money is no issue, it's raining money, like I'm buying whatever I want, whenever I want, wherever I want, my bills are still less than $2,000 a month. And that includes anything and everything I want to spend my money on. And I have everything on a credit card, all of my automatic payments, and then I just pay the bill once a month and call it even. So, let's go ahead and go over how I budget. I have a checking account and a high interest earning savings account. My high interest earning savings account has, for the last few years, hovered around between 3.8 and 4.8%. Right now it's currently at 3.8%. I do not have sinking funds. I have one big emergency fund, and that's it. And that is, for me, a year's worth of expenses, maybe even a little bit more. You're supposed to save, some say 3 to 6 months, some say 6 months or more, whatever makes you most comfortable. For me, it's a year of living my life as normal, which is $20,000. That's in my savings account. And remember, it earns interest. So I make like $66 a month, I believe. $66.93. I would have to look at the exact numbers because it's not in front of me. I might be off by a couple of pennies. So I take out that $66.93 each month. I have, that's it, just checking and savings. That's it. And then I've got my retirement accounts, which I do through, I have 2 of them. I have Fidelity and Charles Schwab. The Fidelity is because my credit card offers rewards points, and the rewards points I'm able to cash in and put into a brokerage account. So it turns into automatic investment. And it used to be where I would exchange it for gift cards or just cash back onto my credit card. But those deals aren't as good because when I put it into a brokerage account, it's double what I would get for a gift card or for cash. So I'm going to go with the brokerage. And that's it. That's all I have. So A lot of the questions that I get are, how do you know, there's the 50-30-20 rule. How much money should I be putting away for savings? And it's been, for me, it's been over 20 years since I was getting out of debt and things were difficult for me and I had to budget that way. So it only lasted a year and a half. So to be honest with you, that knowledge has left me. I don't remember it. Hey Coco. Hey Coco. Neighbor's dogs, sweet dogs. So I don't remember. But a lot of people still ask me, even though I have a fully funded emergency fund, how much do you put into sinking funds, and how much do you put into savings? Well, once you've saved up your year's worth of expenses, you don't put money into savings anymore. You put those into investments. So every month when I get paid, first thing I do, I pay off the credit card. Boom. I just paid all my bills. My credit card is paid off. And then I take whatever extra money I have, which is, by the way, my bills add up to literally $1,200 a month, maybe less, maybe more. Actually, it's a lot. I take that back. It's a lot less. Because that $1,200 that or little less than $1,200 includes, Rocky, stop barking, includes bills that are paid quarterly and yearly. So garbage bill is quarterly, cell phone is yearly, property tax yearly. So that includes the quarterly and yearly. So my bills are actually significantly less than what you're going to see on the little chart that I show you, or the little payments that I show you. And then at the end of every year in December is when I seem to get those big bills, right around Christmas time. Isn't that great? Where I get the car insurance bill and I pay it for a year, and it's like, it used to be like $25 a month, now it's like $65 a month. And then I don't have home insurance right now because I can't find anybody to insure me. That's California. So still shopping. I'm probably gonna have to go without until my time with AAA, my probationary period of 3 years has ended with AAA. And that's a whole story. If you've watched my channel, I told the story about my roof, and I replaced the roof, and then they said, well, you lapsed. So, cause nobody would do it in the winter. I was willing to get up there in the winter, but nobody else was. Anyway, that's another story. So I think that people, when it comes to finances, like to overcomplicate things a lot. And maybe it's because I'm a simple-minded dum-dum. I'm just a simple person. I like a simple house, a simple wardrobe, a simple car, a simple life. And that includes minimalism and simple finances. So that's it. Checking, savings, and brokerage accounts. That's it. I know you expected this to be a super exciting video with a lot of budgeting secrets, but there's no secret. Okay, so here's what I did now that I'm remembering. When I got out of debt, I didn't follow Dave Ramsey where he says to have $1,000 emergency fund, because he wants you to cut up all your credit cards and just have the emergency fund to fall back on. When I was getting out of debt, I had $0 in any savings. I kept my checking account at like $15 because I was so desperate to get rid of that debt. I was gazelle intense. I really was. So anything that I did have in savings, which wasn't much, it was like, I don't know, like $2,000. That, as soon as I made that decision to get out of debt, that all went to debt. It's like all gone. And I do remember when I had just paid off my last debt bill, something went wrong with my car. And I went in, and his name was Chris. Chris was the guy who owned the auto shop. He was the only guy I went to. And he goes, you know, something's wrong. It's going to cost $417. And I was like, no, because I just paid everything off and I had like $15 in my checking account. And he comes back like a half hour later and he goes, oh, guess what? It's $17. And I was like, yes. And I had like 2 cents left in my checking account after that until the next payday. But I was debt free. So I didn't want that feeling of debt freedom to go away. That was a fun little story. But yeah, you guys, if you're, most people have debt. 80% of people have debt. And they're like, how much? For me personally, I would follow the Dave Ramsey method and put, I don't know, if you have credit cards that have available money on it, like if you have over $1,000 available on your credit card, I'm gonna go against Dave Ramsey and say, take that $1,000 out of your savings account that you're earning 4% on and put it towards the credit card that's charging you 25%. To me, that just makes mathematical sense. All right, that's what I've got for you guys for this little budgeting video. So let's go ahead and take a look at what my monthly expenses are. But first, let's go. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. I hope so. Anyway, so this is the federal poverty line in 2025, which is $12.55 a month for a single person. No debt, because debt is the reason for the season. Debt is why people can't live on a low income. It's the problem. So here's my bills. No mortgage, no car loan, no student loans, credit card, medical debt. My property taxes, again, some of these are quarterly, some of these are yearly, but I'm putting it down as a monthly transaction. So property tax is $191, so it went up. Electric and gas is $0. Garbage, $25. Water and sewer, $71. That's probably gonna go, that goes down in the summertime, but this is what it is for the colder weather because I use the bathtub as a heater. That's right. I get in there and I soak in like 140, not really hot water, and then it warms me up, gets all that blood rushing to the skin, and then I leave. That's a little tip for you. Fill the tub with hot water, take your bath, and leave it because the steam will help heat up your house. Anyway, internet. So my internet, I switched internet companies. I went from 60 down to 55. Cell phone is 15. I have Mint Mobile. Link is in the description. That's for 5 gigs free talk, text, and I think you get free calls to Canada and Mexico too. Car insurance went up this year. It's now 55. I was wrong, not 65, 55. Car registration, 13, comes out to 13 a month. Here's my biggest bill, medical. $504. The last time I went to the doctor was, I'm going to say, let's see, 2019 minus 6 plus 6, 16 years ago. 16 years ago was the last time I went to the doctor. Has it been that? No, it can't be that long. No, it's when I got stitches. When did I get those stitches? Anyway, it's been a long time. Not 16 years. That can't be right. That's not right. I'm going to say 8 years. Let's go with 8. Food, I have it at $200. I do go over my receipts and it's almost always less than $200. It's usually, more like 120. But I keep it at, I like to round way up because sometimes I go on those binging stocking prepper things where I go and stock like a ton of meat. So yeah, there's that. So my total comes out to $11.23 a month. And $12.55 a month is the poverty line. These are things that I could do. I could, in an emergency. So if I were in a really, really bad place, we hit a Great Depression, something like that, I would switch my cell phone service from Mint to Tello because Tello has an option available where it's just 1 gig of data and then talk and text for $8 a month. But that would only be an emergency because that 5 gigs is really important. Or I would cancel my internet. Well, no, I wouldn't have internet. I might cancel my internet at home and upgrade my cell phone to have unlimited data so that I could have internet at home with using my phone. And anyway, can't change the property tax. Electric, garbage, sewer, internet, food would go all the way down to $100. So I would be able to live on $400, and I would get rid of medical insurance. That would definitely, yes, I would do that if there were a Great Depression, because if I can't afford it, I can't afford it. So I would be able to live on $465 a month. But I don't know what this is, but that's only in dire circumstances. So right now, I think that I live a really fulfilling life. I'm able to travel when I want, able to take the dogs out whenever I want, and you know, it is what it is. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I am forgetting something. You guys, I forgot gasoline for my car. Okay. Gasoline for car. I'm going to put $40 a month. So that turns into a 6. Still below the poverty line, but I only use this as a reference. I'm not trying to live below the poverty line. I don't care if it's just a reference. You know what I used to do back when I used to work like 5,000 full-time jobs? I used to compare it to unemployment benefits. That's what I used to do. It's like, am I living on less than I would live on if I were unemployed and lost my jobs? The answer is always yes. So I try to stay below this, but comfortably, but it is what it is. All right, folks, do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.
Earlier, I had told someone that what it appeared to me with this despair, it was that like every person on earth had just left their mother's funeral. Everyone. Can you imagine that for just a minute? Everybody on planet Earth had to bury their mom that day and was leaving that funeral or memorial service with the weight of that. That's how people appeared. They were very, very grieving, very, very, despondent. Now, when I ran into him, I asked him if he knew what was going on in the world, and this is exactly what he said to me.
Get her, Rocky.
That the end was coming again,
Get her, Rocky.
and that he had not prepared for the time.
Get her, mister.
At this statement,
Get her, mister. You just gonna let her win? Again? You're just gonna let her win? Get her, Rocky. Get her, Rocky.
then he began immediately to tell me God's plan for man's salvation. He carefully reached in his back pocket like this and looked around over both of his shoulders to see as though